Far from Earth, in the deep silence of space, a small human ship landed on an alien moon. It was not a special place. No cities, no signs of life, just a large, broken communication tower and strange glowing rocks all around it. The air was thin, the ground cold, and everything felt ... wrong. Liam, a young human engineer, stepped out of the ship wearing his protective suit. He looked around, scanning the area. This was his mission: fix the alien tower and leave. Nothing dangerous was expected, just a normal job. Or so he thought. The tower was tall and broken in the middle. Wires hung loose, and energy sparks danced in the air. As Liam got closer, he noticed something strange, a figure standing near the base of the tower. It was not human. She stood still, half hidden behind the wreckage. Her skin was pale silver, her eyes glowed blue, and her long hair floated as if touched by the wind, even though there was none. Liam paused. "Hello?" he called out. The alien girl didn't move. She just watched him, silent, cautious. Liam took a small step forward, raising his hands to show peace. "I'm here to fix the tower," he said gently. "I don't want to hurt anyone." Finally, the girl moved. She stepped into the light and raised her hand, not to attack, but to warn. Her voice was soft but firm. "Please, don't touch me, human." Liam froze. The way she said it wasn't rude. It was full of fear. It was a warning. "I'm not going to hurt you," Liam said, confused. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. Her eyes stayed locked on him. Body shook slightly, like she was afraid even to breathe near him. Liam thought maybe she was injured. He walked around the broken machine, keeping some distance. As he reached behind the tower to inspect the damage, he heard a soft sound, a small cry. He turned quickly and saw her fall to her knees. Without thinking, Liam ran forward. "You hurt?" She looked up, her eyes wide. "Stop. Don't." But it was too late. Liam reached out to help her, grabbing her arm to stop her fall. The second his hand touched her skin, the world changed. A pulse of light shot through the ground. The air became heavy, the sky darker. Liam stumbled back, feeling something hot on his hand. He looked down. A strange blue mark began to form on his skin. It's glowing like fire, but not burning. Elia screamed a sound of fear, not pain, and pushed herself away from him, crawling back. "I warned you," she whispered, almost crying. "I told you not to touch me." Liam backed away, shocked. What is this? What's happening to me?" Elia stood up slowly, her glowing eyes dim. "Now, it has begun." Suddenly, the tower lit up behind them, reacting to the energy. The broken pieces started shaking, as if alive. Liam's wrist device buzzed wildly with error messages. "This isn't normal," he muttered. "What did I do?" Elia looked at him with sadness in her eyes. "You did what all humans do. You touched something you didn't understand." She turned and ran into the rocky hills behind the tower, disappearing into the glowing mist. Liam tried to follow, but the pain in his hand grew stronger. He dropped to his knees, breathing hard. The blue mark now pulsing like a heartbeat. He was alone, and something inside him had changed. The tower behind him made a soft, humming sound, like it was alive again. The mission was no longer simple. It was no longer just about repairing machines. Liam had touched something forbidden, and now he would learn why Liam sat near the broken tower, staring at the blue, glowing mark on his hand. The light pulsed like a heartbeat, low and steady, but it was not normal. It felt warm, alive, and watching him, the alien girl, Elia, was gone. She had run into the foggy hills after warning him, but her voice still echoed in his mind. "I told you not to touch me." Liam tried to contact his base through his wrist device. No signal. The tower had powered on after the strange touch, but it was still unstable. He looked at the glowing mark again. It didn't hurt, but it made him feel strange, like something was crawling inside his mind. His thoughts were no longer clear. He felt emotions that weren't his own. Sadness, fear, loneliness. Suddenly, a soft whisper entered his ears. "Liam." He looked around. No one was there. "Can you hear me?" The voice was not human. It was Elya. Liam stood up, shocked. "Elia, where are you?" The voice didn't answer. But now, images flashed in Liam's mind. Not memories, but visions. He saw Elia's face when she was younger, smiling with her family. Then he saw dark shadows, scientists with cold eyes, and needles filled with glowing blue liquid. He gasped, seeing her past. The glowing mark on his hand pulsed again. It was a connection. The touch didn't just hurt Elliot had. Linked them together. Far away, deep inside, a glowing cave. Elia sat with her arms around her knees. Her eyes were full of tears. Her body glowed softly in the dark. "He touched me," she whispered to herself. "But he's still alive." No one had ever survived before. Every other human who touched her, died within minutes. Their bodies couldn't handle the energy. They burned from the inside. But Liam was different. Back at the tower, Liam checked his body. He was sweating, heart racing, but still alive. His wrist device started working again. The tower systems blinked to life, almost responding to him. He touched a broken screen. It turned on immediately. "This doesn't make sense," he said. Then something strange happened. The tower spoke. Not in any known language, but he understood. The voice said, "Linked. Human access granted. Guardian awakened." "Guardian," Liam whispered. "What does that mean?" Another vision flashed in his mind. A large war, alien ships, and a strange power hidden inside a girl, Elya. She was not just a normal alien. She was created for something big. A weapon or a savior. Suddenly, Liam felt pain in his chest. He fell to the ground, breathing hard. The connection was growing stronger. Too strong. Then Elia's voice returned inside his mind. "You need to stop. It's dangerous." Liam closed his eyes. "Where are you? Why are we connected?" She replied softly. "Because you touched me. And now, you carry part of my energy. If we don't control it, you'll die." Liam didn't know what to say. His mission was simple: repair the tower and leave. But now, everything had changed. He stood up, eyes serious. "Then teach me. Tell me how to survive this." There was silence for a moment. Then she answered, "Follow the light. I'll find you." Hours passed. Liam walked through the glowing fog, following the blue lights that floated in the air. The energy from the mark kept guiding him like a compass. His body felt heavy, but his mind felt clearer. Finally, he saw her. Elia stood near a small river of blue energy, her eyes glowing with sadness. She looked at Liam, surprised. "You made it," she said softly. Liam smiled weakly. "You said I would die." Elia stepped back. "You still might. And when it does, it could break your mind." "Okay, then why didn't you just kill me when I touched you?" Liam asked. She looked down. "Guess, for the first time, someone touched me without fear, without hate. You tried to help me, Liam. Stepped closer, and I still will." She stared at him, her voice shaking. "Then you need to know the truth." She raised her hand and touched his forehead gently. And then Liam saw everything: her pain, her creation, and the terrible secret she was hiding. His eyes opened wide. "What are you?" Elia whispered. One word: danger. Liam fell to his knees, gasping for air. The moment Elia touched his forehead, her memories rushed into his mind like a flood. But they were not just pictures. They were feelings: deep pain, fear, loneliness, and something even worse, betrayal. He clutched his head as the visions continued. They weren't stopping. They were forcing him to live her past. Long ago, Elia was not the silent girl he met. She was happy, curious, full of light. Her people, the Valari, were peaceful ones. The war came not with humans, but with other alien races. The Valari wanted peace, but their leaders, they chose something else. They began creating weapons. Not machines, but living beings. Children like Elia were taken from their families, locked in cold metal rooms, given injections, wires in their skin, screams in the night, all to turn them into something powerful. ELYA was one of the first. But something went wrong. The energy inside her became too strong. It didn't just destroy machines, it destroyed minds. Anyone who touched her would lose control. Some screamed, some died in seconds. She was named a curse, a danger, a mistake, so they locked her away. Alone, for years, Liam saw all of it. When the vision ended, he fell forward, shaking. His eyes were wide with shock, his heart heavy with sadness. Elia sat beside him, her voice quiet. Now you know. Liam looked at her. They used you, like a lab experiment. She nodded slowly. They were afraid. They turned me into something to fear. Liam took a deep breath. But you're not a weapon. You're a person. Elia didn't answer. She looked down at the ground. Not anymore. There was silence between them. The only sound was the soft hum of energy flowing through the nearby river. That night, Liam couldn't sleep. He lay beside a glowing rock, trying to rest, but the visions kept returning. He saw Elia crying in the dark. He saw children begging to go home. He saw scientists in black suits taking notes, watching, never helping. But the worst part was this. He could feel it. He could feel her pain as if it was his own. He turned to look at Elia. She was awake, sitting under the stars, staring into the sky. I'm sorry, he said softly. She didn't move. For what? For what they did to you. And for touching you. Elia looked at him now. Her eyes were glowing again. But not with anger. With something else. Confusion. You're not like the others, she said. Liam smiled weakly. Maybe that's why I survived. She slowly reached out and placed her hand near his butt, not touching. If we stay linked, she whispered, our minds will become one. My thoughts will become your thoughts. My curse will become yours. Liam nodded. I know. I can already feel it. Elia hesitated. And still, you're not afraid? Calm and sure. I'm more afraid of leaving you alone. Suddenly, the ground shook. A red flash lit the sky. Elia jumped to her feet. They're here. Who? Liam asked. She looked into the distance. The hunters, sent by the Valari Council. A day. No, I'm alive. They've come to finish their mistake. A sound filled the air, high-pitched, loud, and sharp. Liam covered his ears. Above them, a large ship appeared through the clouds. Its lights scanned the land, searching. We need to move, Elia said, grabbing Liam's hand. The moment she touched him again, the mark on Liam's skin pulsed brighter than ever. The energy between them grew stronger. Liam felt a sudden rush of power. He could see their path before they even ran. This way, he shouted, leading her through the glowing rocks. The hunters were fast, but Liam and Elia were faster. Every time they ran into danger, the energy guided them. Liam realized it wasn't just her power anymore, it was their shared power. They reached a deep cave and hid inside. The ship passed over them, unable to find their signal. For now, they were safe. Inside the cave, Elia collapsed. Her body glowed faintly. She was tired, drained. Liam sat beside her, placing her head gently on his lap. You saved me, she whispered. No, Liam replied. We saved each other. Elia looked into his eyes. He used to have nightmares every night. People screaming when they touched me, of being alone forever. Liam brushed her silver hair from her face, and now she smiled for the first time. Now I dream of someone who stayed. Liam sat silently in the cave, watching over Elia. Her body glowed softly in the darkness, her breath slow but steady. She looked peaceful, but he knew she was weak. The connection between them had grown stronger, and it was draining her energy. Outside, the sky still flashed red. The hunter ship hovered above the land, scanning everything. These soldiers were not here to ask questions. They had one mission: find and destroy Elia. Liam looked at the blue mark on his hand. It was brighter now, almost pulsing in rhythm with Elia's breath. He had no idea what was happening to him, but one thing was clear: they had to escape. Now Elia opened her eyes slowly. "They're close," she whispered. "I know," Liam said. "Can you move?" She sat up with effort. "Not far. The bond has taken too much, but I'll carry." "You?" he said, without hesitation. Elia blinked. "You'll die if you use too much energy." "The bond? Let me worry about that," Liam said. Helping her to her feet, she leaned on him, her small frame glowing faintly. Liam could feel her heartbeat through the connection. It was weak, but still there, still fighting. They stepped out of the cave. The air was cold. The sky above rumbled with thunder, even though there were no clouds. The land itself felt tense, as if the planet knew what was coming. In the distance, the hunter ship dropped something, a drone. It flew fast, scanning the ground with red light. "We need to move," Elia said, her voice barely a whisper. Liam nodded and helped her walk faster. The energy from the bond flowed through him, giving him strength. It was strange. The more he stayed close to her, the stronger he felt, even if it was hurting him deep inside. They ran through glowing tunnels, across sharp rocks and glowing rivers. The landscape was beautiful, but dangerous. Suddenly, the drone spotted them. A loud alarm filled the air. Red lights flashed. The ground behind them exploded. "Run," Liam shouted, pulling Elia forward. She stumbled, falling hard. "I can't." Liam turned, grabbed her into his arms, and ran. Another explosion hit near them, throwing fire and dust into the air. The heat burned his back, but he didn't stop. He didn't look back. The land curved downward into a canyon. At the bottom was a glowing gate-hold, alien and powerful. Liam felt something strange inside him. The gate called to him. "That's it," Elia cried weakly. "That gate leads to the ancient tunnels. They won't find us down there." Liam pushed forward, jumping across rocks, dodging falling debris. His heart pounded in his chest. Behind them, the hunter ship fired again, but just as the missiles came close, the gate lit up and pulled them in. A bright light swallowed them whole. Inside, everything went quiet. No fire, no sound, just silence and soft blue light. Liam dropped to his knees, still holding Ilya. She looked up, weak but smiling. "You did it. We're safe." Liam looked around. The tunnel was deep, wide, and full of strange symbols glowing on the walls. "Where are we?" he asked. Elia touched the ground. "This place is old. It was built before my people turned to war. A sanctuary for those like me, the ones they feared." She looked at him. "It's the only safe place left." Liam helped her sit against a rock. "You need to rest," he said. "I will," she whispered. "But Liam, you need to understand something." He looked at her, confused. "The bond," she said, "is not just a connection. It's a bridge between your world and mine, between your heart and mine. If I die, you die too." Liam sat beside her, silent for a moment. "I'm not leaving you," said finally. She closed her eyes, smiling faintly. "I know." Suddenly, the symbols on the walls lit up brighter. Liam stood, looking around. "What's happening, Leah?" opened her eyes slowly. The gate has accepted you. What do you mean? You touched me, she said softly. You carried me. You chose not to run away. Now, this place sees you as one of us. Liam looked at his glowing hand. But I'm just a human. Not anymore, she whispered. They were safe for now, but Liam knew the hunters would return. They always did, and next time they would come with more firepower. He looked down at Elia, her head resting on his shoulder, her breath steady but light. He had made a choice. He wouldn't run. He wouldn't hide. He would fight with her, whatever came next. The tea was ready. Inside the ancient tunnel, everything was quiet. Liam sat beside Elia, watching her sleep. Her silver skin glowed faintly, and the energy between them still moved like a soft wind. The blue mark on his hand was brighter now, spreading slowly up. His arm, it didn't hurt, but it felt strange, like something alive inside him. He couldn't sleep. His heart felt heavy. Too many thoughts ran through his mind. How did a simple mission turn into this? He looked around. The walls of the tunnel were covered in glowing symbols. As he stared, the symbols began to shift, changing into words he could read. One soul, one bond, one destiny. Liam blinked. What does that mean? Elia stirred beside him. Her eyes opened slowly. You can read the symbols now, she said softly. Liam turned to her. How? The link is growing, she replied. It's not just sharing thoughts anymore. It's sharing everything. Your mind is becoming like mine, and mine like yours. Liam touched the glowing wall. That's why I can understand your language. Why I feel your pain, even your fear. Elia nodded. And soon you may feel more than that. Liam looked at her. Like what? She hesitated. My power, my memories even, my heartbeats. Okay. They sat in silence for a while. Then Elia spoke again. Do you want to know why I was really created? Liam nodded. Yes. Elia closed her eyes. I wasn't made to destroy. I was made to protect something ancient. It's a secret deep inside our planet. A source of energy. Strong. Enough to stop any war. But my people became afraid of it. They decided to hide it forever. They used you as the key, Liam said. She nodded. Yes, I was linked to it at birth. That's why I glow. That's why no one can touch me. Liam frowned. But I did. Elia looked into his eyes. Because the energy accepted you too. Suddenly, a soft light appeared at the far end of the tunnel. A door. It opened slowly, revealing a large chamber filled with floating crystals, soft lights, and a gentle hum that echoed like music. Liam helped Elia stand. They walked together, step by step. As they entered the chamber, the crystals began to float toward them, circling gently around Elia. She smiled. They remember me. Then, something amazing happened. One of the crystals floated toward Liam. Elia's eyes widened. That's never happened before. The crystal touched Liam's chest and melted into his body. The mark on his arm spread to his neck, his eyes glowing briefly with the same soft blue light. Liam staggered. I felt everything. Past, present, even the future. Elia touched his face. The link is complete. Suddenly, the ground shook. The hunters were back. Liam and Elia turned toward the tunnel entrance. They could hear heavy footsteps, metal armor, mechanical breathing. They found us, Liam said. Elia looked at the glowing chamber. We can't run now, but we don't have to. She stepped forward and raised her hands. Kazas responded, forming a glowing shield in front of the chamber. Liam stood beside her. What do we do? She looked at him. We fight. Together. The first hunter entered, aiming a weapon. He fired. The energy blast hit the shield and bounced off, lighting up the chamber. Liam felt the bond inside him grow hotter. His hand glowed. Without thinking, He raised his hand. The air shimmered. Hey! A wave of blue light shot forward, knocking the hunter down. He gasped. Did I do that? Elia smiled. Okay. You're not just connected to me anymore. You're connected to this place. To everything. More hunters came. Liam stood tall. Okay, let's show them what a mistake that was. They fought together. Elia controlled the energy. Kayam directed it. Each movement was like a dance. They didn't speak, but they understood each other perfectly. One by one, the hunters fell. Okay. Their weapons were no match for the ancient power that now lived in both human and alien. When the last hunter was gone, the chamber became quiet again. Liam and Elia stood side by side, breathing heavily. You were amazing, Liam said. Elia looked at him. So were you. He smiled. I guess we're stronger together. She took his hand. We always were. They left the chamber. The tunnel behind them sealed shut. The bond had changed them both, not just in body, but in heart, in whatever came. Okay? Next, they would face it as one. The battle was over. The ancient chamber stood silent once more. Crystals floated gently above, glowing like stars in a calm sky. Liam and Elia stood at the center, side by side, their hands still glowing with soft blue light. But something had changed. Liam could feel it in his bones. The bond between him and Elia was no longer just a connection. It was something deeper, something ancient. Elya placed her hand on a large stone at the heart of the chamber. The stone glowed bright and opened slowly like a door. Inside, they saw stairs that spiraled downward into darkness. It's time, she whispered. Time for what? Liam asked. She turned to him, her eyes calm but serious. To show you everything. It's the truth. About me. About us. They walked down the stairs together. With every step, the air grew warmer. The light from the walls faded, replaced by a soft, golden glow. Ahead, at the bottom, they reached a giant hidden hall, untouched by time. In the center stood a large orb of light, floating above a stone table. Around it were carving stories, written in pictures. Glowing faintly, Elia moved to the table and placed her palm on it. The orb came alive. Images appeared inside it, moving images, like memories frozen in light. Liam saw them clearly. First, there was a child Elia as a baby wrapped in a soft silver blanket, her eyes already glowing. Elders stood around her, whispering. She was chosen, not born, but created. She's not just Valari, Elia said quietly. She was mixed with something older, a race that no longer exists. Their energy was pure, too strong for most bodies. But I was made to hold it. The scene changed. Scientists tested her. Machines surrounded her. Needles, wires, long, dark rooms. They trained her, shaped her, watched her like an object. They didn't just give me power, she said. They gave me purpose, to protect something hidden deep in our world, a source of light, older than time. The image shifted again. Now the orb showed a massive energy core hidden under a mountain. The same glowing crystals from the tunnel were everywhere around it. But there was a problem. The energy was becoming unstable. The Valari feared it could destroy the galaxy if released. So they made you the key, Liam said, finally understanding. You were the only one who could hold it. Elia nodded. Yes, but they got scared. They didn't trust me anymore. So they locked me away, hoping the energy would stay sealed forever. Liam stepped closer to the orb. A final image appeared. It showed him a human standing beside Elia. What is this? He asked. Elia looked at him, her voice gentle. This was the part they didn't know. The bond. When you touched me, the core recognized you. Your human energy balanced mine. It made the bond stronger. Safe. Liam blinked. So that's Why, I didn't die. Yes, she said. You're not just linked to me, you're linked to the core itself. The truth hit him like lightning. He wasn't just helping Elia, he was now part of something far greater. Suddenly, the orb dimmed. A deep voice echoed through the chamber, not from any mouth, but from the walls, the floor, the air itself. The guardians have awakened. The seal is breaking. Liam turned. Did you hear that? Elia nodded, eyes wide. It's the core. It's waking up. Cracks appeared in the walls. The glowing crystals began to shake. Lya stepped back. The power. Unstable. Again. What do we do? Liam asked. She looked into his eyes. We finish what they started, but this time, not with fear, with trust. She reached out her hand. Liam took it without hesitation. The orb of light opened like a flower. A beam of energy flowed down from the ceiling. Wrapping around them both, Liam felt the bond pulled tighter. His heartbeat matched Ilia's, his thoughts mixed with hers. He saw her pain, her hope, her dreams, and she saw his. They were no longer two. They were one. The room exploded with light. Then, silence. When the light faded, Liam stood in the center of the hall. Elia beside him. Thorpe had vanished. The carvings had stopped glowing. Everything was still, but something was different. Liam looked at his hand. The blue mark was gone. I feel whole, he said. Elia smiled. The core has accepted us. The bond is complete. Liam looked around. So what happens now? Elia stepped forward. Now we become what they feared. He raised an eyebrow. A danger. She shook her head. A new beginning. The hall was silent now. The light from the orb was gone. The energy was calm. The glowing crystals had faded. But something powerful had changed. Liam stood beside Elia, still holding her hand. His body felt light, almost floating. The bond was no longer just a mark on his skin. It was inside his soul. He could feel Elia's heart beating with his. Her thoughts, her emotions, they were one. They were no longer just a human and an alien. There was something more. Elia looked around the chamber. Her eyes no longer glowed bright like before, but instead shimmered softly with peace. It's done, she whispered. Liam asked, is the core safe now? She nodded. Yes, the power inside me, inside us, balanced the core. It will no longer destroy. It will now protect. Liam looked down at his hand. The blue mark was gone, but he still felt the warmth. What does that mean for us? Elia turned to him, her face quiet and calm. It means we're now connected, forever. Just then, the ground shook from above. A loud rumble echoed. Ancient tunnels were breaking apart. Cracks formed in the walls. Dust began to fall from the ceiling. Liam looked up. A structure falling. We need to get out, Elia said, grabbing his arm. They ran through the tunnel, helping each other. The path behind them collapsed, stone by stone. As they reached the surface, the sky was no longer dark. A soft light covered the land. Hunter's ship was gone. No drones, no soldiers, silence. Freedom. Helped Elia to sit on a flat rock. Her legs trembled, her body weak. You okay? He asked. She nodded slowly. Just tired. It's a bond. It used so much of me. Liam sat beside her. We made it. Together. She looked at him, her silver hair glowing softly in the wind. You gave me something I never had, she said. What? Hope. Liam smiled. And you gave me something I never expected. She tilted her head. What's that? A reason to fight. They sat there for a while, watching the alien sun rise above the hills. Liam asked, what now? Where do we go? Leah looked up at the sky. There's a hidden world beyond the stars. It's a place where people like me once lived. Maybe others are still out there. You want to find them? She nodded. If there's even one more like me, they shouldn't be alone. Liam stood and reached out his hand. Then we go together. She looked at his hand, her eyes filled with tears, not of fear, but of love. She took his hand, her voice shaking. Please, don't let go. He smiled. Never. They returned to Liam's small ship. It was damaged, but working. As it powered up, the dashboard lit with strange symbols. Liam laughed. Looks like the ship is now part alien. Elia touched the screen. It understands us now. The ship lifted slowly, rising above the broken land, through the clouds. As they flew into space, stars surrounded them. Planets far away shined like jewels in the dark. They had no clear destination, but they had each other, and the bond between them would guide the way. Later, as they floated in the calm of space, Liam looked at Elia. You still glow, he said softly. She smiled. And you still feel like home? They sat close, hand in hand. She rested her head on his shoulder. The ship moved forward, not toward war, not toward fear, but toward a new future. For her, for him.